Anub'Rekhan, Heroic Mode. The deck is exactly the same. Everything is actually exactly the same as normal mode, except for the fact that the hero power summons a 4/4 Nerubian instead of a 3/1 Nerubian. I got a pretty decent starting hand. This one is much more difficult. You need to focus on board control and using things such as mirror image as well as freezes and flame strikes to make sure that you can control the board. 4/4s are, again, very hard to deal with efficiently without losing too much card draw. Here I am going to use a Doomsayer to try to slow down his draw. Of course, if this Doomsayer works, which it does, I essentially get rid of 12/12 in stats with my 2-mana card, which is really efficient. A lot of times it is really good to use that card behind something else, but do note that Anub'Rekhan does play a lot of cards such as Frostbolt and some 3 damage Warlock cards as well. So he does have a lot of removal, and he can pretty easily get rid of your Doomsayer, so don't count too much on it. Of course, it's always good if you can use a Frost Nova as well. Here I decide to just Frostbolt his 2/3 and play my Secret, Ice Barrier. He will be able to proc that off, but that's alright. It's not the end of the world. Here I decide to use Blizzard. His 1/4 will regain the 2 health, but I'm most likely going to Flame Strike next turn anyways, so it's just going to die then. So it's not really that big of a deal. Here I'm just hoping that he plays a lot of cards, not hero powering, which he does, but he just plays a lot of cards that I can easily kill with my Flame Strike. He does play a Haunted Creeper, so he will get 2/1/1s and still have his 2/2 with Taunt. But I do have another Flame Strike ready for next turn as well, if I so choose to do so. Depending on the situation. I'm really just struggling to keep up here with his hero power. I'm probably going to have to Flame Strike 2 turns in a row while taking 4 damage from his minions on board. He will play another Haunted Creeper, which means 2 more 1/1s after I Flame Strike for the second time in a row. It seems like I'm, struggling to keep up here. But in reality, I am in a decent spot. I'm still have a tiny bit of an advantage in terms of cards, as well as I still have cards. Really, that's what you want with this deck. As long as you still have cards, you can still do pretty well. As long as you have cards, you can do things with those cards. Here, I just decide to freeze everything and play my Doomsayer, hoping that he doesn't have any removal spells, and he can't do anything about it. And luckily, or unluckily rather, he does actually have some removal spells, and he can deal with my Doomsayer. But that is okay. At least I've stalled for a tiny bit of time now. Let's see, what do I decide to do here? I'm just going to draw cards, try to find an answer. I did get a Cone of Cold and a Blizzard. The Blizzard is going to be very useful. He'll be left with a 4/4 regular Nerubian from the egg after that dies, but that's still good. It freezes everything else, and I'm completely out of AoE now. I've used it all. I've used both Blizzards and both Flame Strikes. The only thing I have left is Frost Novas, so it's looking pretty bad for me, but luckily the Cone of Cold is actually combined with the 4/4 Taunt will actually get rid of most of his minions, and then I can ping off the other 4/1 and set up an ice block for later on in the game. So here I do draw the Naxxramas this turn. Can't play it though because of this guy, which is actually really unfortunate. But I decide I don't remember what I decide to do. I think I play maybe I Molten Giant. I'm not really sure what I decided to do here. If that wasn't there. I do decide to actually Flame Strike that and then do that. I don't think it really mattered what I pinged here. But if he hadn't done that, I would have just Alexstrasza his face, and you know. But unfortunately, didn't get a chance to do that. Here, he just goes completely face, and then uses this to deal 3 damage to all my guys. But it's not really that big of a deal, especially because I haven't even Alexstrasza him yet. So here, I do decide to just Alexstrasza his face, and then attack. And now, no matter what he does, I'm pretty set because I have Pyroblast. And here we go. So now my Ice Block is popped. It doesn't really matter what he does. He's going to decide to Hero Power Crazed Alchemist my 8/5 and attack once into it. And there we go. Now I will just attack into his... Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Of course, I made a grave mistake here for attacking into his 4/4, forgetting that it dealt 2 damage to the heroes as well. The correct play would have been to just Pyroblast his face, and I know that, but it doesn't really matter because I've already beaten this heroic dungeon. If you are in the same situation, make sure to Pyroblast his face and not attack into his 4/4 taunt.